Nostalgia Nuckleheds with Hades Manticore and Kade Wolfe. Today on Nostalgia Knuckleheads, we will be watching Butt Ugly Martians, the story of 3 idiot Martians who invade Earth and team up with the local wildlife to battle evil. Hey everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Did you make a pun?
No, I didn't make any puns.
Butt, buddy. Anyway.
Hey, everybody. No, I can't make puns for this episode, okay? I'm not excited enough. That's why. That's exactly why you picked it. We got to go through the crucible first before we start getting actually good cartoons.
So Max.
Yes.
What episode did you pick out for us today?
Well, today, as it was mentioned, we are watching the Butt Ugly Martians. It premiered in 2001, lasted till 2002, was by Mike Young Productions. It aired on Nickelodeon, has an IMDb rating of 3.2, and has 26 episodes.
Wow.
I'm gonna get a feeling. I'm getting the feeling that this is gonna suck because I remember watching this as a kid and it was terrible back then, and I doubt it's gotten any good since then. It is probably one of those shows that hasn't aged well, like Rocket Power. I think this is one of the shows I watched as a kid just because it was on TV. And I watch anything as a kid. We're gonna watch episode 1 of the Butt Ugly Martians. It's called Playback/Payback. Watch along at your own risk, and we will see you guys after we finish the episode.
B-K-M! 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 We are the Martians, the Butt Ugly Martians. We are the Martians, the Butt Ugly Martians. We don't really want a war. I just want a hoverboard. We don't want to conquer Earth.
I just want to fill my girth.
We are the Martians, the Butt Ugly Martians. We are the Martians, the Butt Ugly Martians. If you try to go too far, you will see how tough we are. If you try it anyway, then you're gonna hear me say B-K-M!
Oh, yeah.
B-K-M! B-K-M! We are the Martians, the Butt Ugly Martians. We are the Martians, the Butt Ugly Martians.
Well, okay, that was something, wasn't it? I said the same thing for fucking Mommy's Alive, but
It was certainly 22 minutes of my life I'll never get back.
yeah, and the fact that I watched this as a kid, I lost a lot of time as a kid. This show exists, kid.
Alright, I guess, is there any positives that you can kind of think of, though?
No, I really can't. I'm not even kidding.
Once again, I think it was just it was limited, like, by its budget, once more. Like, I think it would have been better. The concept is obviously one that works. I mean, I guess Invader Zim's not
I don't know
exactly
about
the
that.
same.
Invader Zim is not the same thing. Let's not compare.
I know.
Let's not compare Invader Zim, a show that's actually pretty funny and enjoyable, to fucking Butt Ugly Martians.
See, that I'm wondering if this would have been better if it was actually, like, 2-dimensionally animated instead of 3-dimensionally, when it was obviously not ready to be 3-dimensionally animated, and they are just quickly animating stuff from one scene to the next.
I mean, you've watched Reboot, haven't you?
Yeah.
That animation was better than this, because this animation in Butt Ugly Martians, holy shit, is some of, like, the worst, like, most awkward, least flowing animation I've ever seen in my life.
Who played the chick?
Who played the chick? I swear to God it was Kath Soucie. I'm 95% sure that's the chick that also did, like, Lil on Rugrats. Did this feel like an episode 1 to you?
No.
So I'm not alone in thinking that.
It feels like episode 6.
It feels like an episode, because, like, they just, like, throw you into the show. It's just like, here's some Martians recording a fake invasion and then sending it back to their planet. Oh, and they're friends with these 3 kids. It's like, is there any, like, ramp up for this? Were they always friends? Why are they not actually conquering Earth and stuff like that?
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen an origin story in this end, actually.
Yeah, I kind of figured that's what episode 1's for, but they didn't. Why do they like Earth? Why don't they just conquer Earth?
Yeah. Also, what does BKM stand for?
Butt-kicking Martian.
Okay.
Not even kidding.
No, it's fine.
So this episode starts with them recording them invading Earth, one of their many battle reports, I guess. And then, then for some reason, when the red one, what's the red one's name?
Doesn't matter.
It's Doo-Wah.
Yeah.
All their names are stupid. It's Doo-Wah, Tutti Frutti, and B-Bop. I don't know. I think they clearly needed to do Martian-y names, but they were just like, let's just make it music jokes. They were gonna send the report back to the fucking Martian commander, and the red one, Doo-Wah, aka the idiot of the group, aka the fat guy. He puts the disc into the system and it just blows up for some reason. Just no explanation given as to why.
So once again, they're just moving the plot along.
Yeah, just blew up. And they're like, how are we going to send this? You know who has a satellite? Those 3 kids we're friends with for some reason.
Moving the plot along.
This show has terrible, terrible flow. I'm not going to lie.
It's bad. It's not.
Even the animation flow, which I'll talk about when we get to the first fight, is just so bad.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. My notes have so many questions.
Okay, let's start with some questions then. It does not matter. The plot does not matter. There was no plot.
Like I said, the first thing was, how did he cause that meltdown for their computer? It just blew up.
Yeah.
Like, did he jizz into the fucking sockets? Like, I don't get it. Like, if his hands were sticky after he was eating some ice cream or something,
That'd been funny.
I would have bought it. But, like, it just, maybe I missed something, but it just blows up. No
It
fucking
just
reason.
blows up. They didn't have enough. They weren't skilled enough to even like render most of that stuff.
Yeah, they weren't skilled enough to show emotion. My second question on this list is, what the fuck is this animation? Because it's terrible.
It's bad.
Like, I noticed it the most with the kids, especially the one kid with the glasses.
Yeah.
He looked fucking terrible.
His hands on that popcorn bowl.
Oh my
was
god, yeah,
so bad.
it's like I don't even know how to describe it. It'd be like if you glued something to my hand and then you just filmed me as if I was holding it. Holy shit. The number 3 is Martians walk openly in public.
Yeah.
They
were
just
like,
walked to their house like do, and no one said there's some Martians right there.
That's why like they were like, but we can't go outside. Like that was what they said at their home base. And then they're like, I know who has a satellite dish, and they just walk there.
Which is, it's even worse when you realize that there's an alien hating guy on television that hunts aliens.
Who just shows up for no reason.
Who is the real hero of this show, aka fucking Stoat Muldoon. The real hero of Butt Ugly Martians is Stoat Muldoon. Don't let anyone tell you it's the Butt Ugly Martians, because it's fucking Stoat Muldoon. And then, this isn't a question, but my 4th note is, this theme is worse than I remember.
The theme?
Yeah, this theme is worse than I remember.
Yeah, it's pretty funny though.
It's so bad. It's so bad. And then I like that the kid's password for his house is Open Sesame. They should have just went with the obvious joke of the password being password, because at least I would have laughed at that.
The freaking black kid was just like, whoever voice acts him obviously knew that this was a steaming pile.
So we just like fucking
He
hacked
phoned
it.
it in.
He's voiced by a guy named Ogie Banks. His name was Cedric. I didn't get the kids' names. I got the alien names.
I know that one was Mike.
Mike?
Yeah, that was the dude glasses.
Oh yeah, Mike. Mike Ellis was the
goggles.
redhead. Yeah, he has sweet steampunk goggles.
You know, like Digimon, Tai.
Really?
That's what I think of is Tai from Digimon. He had
Me-
sweet goggles on top of his head.
Well, yeah, that's how you know the kid's cool. He wears sweet goggles. They go to the kid's house, and they're like, they just walk in, and they're just like, hey, we're gonna eat your food and watch your TV and use your satellite to transmit shit to our emperor that's gonna blow this planet up if he realizes we're fucking around.
And the kids are like, aw, but don't mess up my TV.
Setting up the hilarious part where they do mess up the TV. And they blow up his fucking wall.
That's later.
Yeah, that's later, but Jesus. The TV gets fucked up first, and they start watching Stoat Muldoon. He's like, aliens are invading Earth. And he's right about everything. They belch like fucking assholes. They eat your food. They sit on your couch. It's like having a bad neighbor. It's like, what the hell is this? Then the fucking Martian command, they're like, we're gonna send this badass robot down to make sure they're doing their jobs. And the robot comes down. Stoat Muldoon catches wind of it, and then they just like, he's like, I gotta end my show now, because he's gotta go fight the robot, because that's what heroes do, you know? And the robot's just right outside the kid's house. They must have launched it literally at their house. Just they landed in the backyard. And then the robot blows a hole in the fucking house wall. And the kid's like, oh no, not my house.
parents.
My parents are gonna kill me for blowing a hole in the wall. They probably would kill him too, but
Yeah,
you know,
they're
whatever.
like-
And then the first fight starts. Actually, wait, it was Stoat Muldoon that blew a hole in the house, because the robot evaded his laser that he shot at him. And then, so they fight the robot. Stoat Muldoon gets thrown into a garbage can, and the robot welds the garbage can shut. Or it's like a garbage crate, I don't know. What are the big garbage cans called that like the machines pick up?
Dumpster.
Dumpster. God, I'm
I
retarded.
don't know why they didn't just kill him. Like, that's what the Martians were supposed to do, right? Kill people on Earth.
They're supposed to, but they like Earth, so they don't want to kill anybody.
And then the robot shoots a laser at the girl. Luckily, B-Bop, I think. Who cares?
Yellow.
Just out of the way.
So yeah, B-Bop.
And I don't understand.
The self-indulgent leader who's like, man, I'm good at coming up with plans and shit.
Like Leonardo from TMNT, only he's
Minus
mostly.
the likability.
Yeah.
We like Leonardo. Okay. And then this is one part where the animation obviously looked like very stilted and terrible. Like when, what is his name? Doo-Wop threw that EMP grenade. It looked so awkward.
Yeah, I threw an EMP bomb.
It was like, look out, blue guy throws grenade rolls. It blows up, robot falls over, and he's like,
Yeah.
fried circuits. And then the worst part is they instead of destroying the robot, they just put it in Stoat Muldoon's car with a note that says "I give up."
Yeah.
And then
And
literally 2 minutes later, they're like, "Oh, the robot can self-repair." And it's like,
Yep.
So you gave the alien hunter guy this robot that can self-repair and is imperative to your life, because if he goes back and reports to Martian High Command that you're fucking around, they're going to send a second wave of people that are going to kill you and then kill everybody on Earth. Did you notice that Stolt Muldoon's car, despite crashing multiple times, does not have any damage on it?
I wonder why.
It just smokes. And then later the door falls off. There is literally no damage to this fucking car.
Yeah, hey, Stone Muldoon is a top-notch engineer, sir. Do not call into question his abilities.
I'm calling into question the abilities of the animators that can't animate a fucking dent.
Or at
Animate-
least, like, put a texture there.
Yeah, just put a fucking texture there. I could probably do it, and I have no training whatsoever.
Bake in some lighting, and it'll look fine.
And then they had their transformation sequence. They were like, BKM for Earth and shit. And then the robot, they blow up the robot, and then it rebuilds. And then another bit of awkward animation is where the robot shoots B-Bop's gun, and then it's like,
Yeah.
the shot happens, the shot disappears, then his gun disintegrates, and then he falls over.
And he falls over weirdly.
He's like, oh no, I've fallen. Yeah, it just looked bad. And then the girl throws a stick at it, and then the robot focuses his attention onto her, and she's like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Okay, so they're on fight number 2. They just blow this robot apart with literally no effort, by the way.
And I don't know why they just don't take, like, each individual part and, like, separate them in, like, different cave systems or something.
Why don't they just hold on to one part? That way it can't rebuild itself. Why don't they just, like, hold on to the brain?
Yeah.
And it's just, ugh. I remember the first time they blew it up, right after they BKM'd, and then they just, like, plowed right through it, and it blew up, and then just started to rebuild. And then they had the idea, it's like, okay, we're going to take the kids, and we're going to go make a fake report for it to go back to the Martian command, since they can't destroy it for some reason. I'm sure if you threw it into some fucking lava, like T-1000, it wouldn't be getting back up, but that's just me thinking out loud here.
They were in the Mojave Desert. Maybe if they just got a really big magnifying glass and just, brought it up high.
Because the robot can't be destroyed because it's undestroyable, which means Martians have some really good technology. They're just like, let's just throw it into the Stolt Muldoon's missile silo and then just hold it as best you can. So while they go make the tape for the robot to report back home, blah blah blah. And then the robot eventually gets out and they're like, oh no, I got out. And then red and yellow pin it down just as blue comes back with the DVD. Why do Martians use DVDs? I don't know.
Maybe they invented it.
Oh,
brilliant.
brilliant.
Maybe it was reverse engineered by the CIA from Roswell.
I need that to talk. My question is, instead of throwing it into the missile silo, why don't they just keep blowing it up?
Yeah.
It took, like, no effort. He, like, palmed it with a wrist laser. Just keep doing that for, like, whatever time required for Blue to get back with a stupid DVD or whatever. I also don't understand why Martian Command can't recognize doctored footage. I also don't get, was the robot not transporting this, like, the whole time? Does it not have the technology to, like, be beaming information in real time back to them?
That was my main question, too. Maybe they don't have that technology yet either. However, they have satellite dishes, so I don't know.
They have DVDs, too, so obviously they're very advanced. Okay, so they let the robot go back with the doctored footage, and then Martian Commander is like, how dare you? He has, like, an advisor. I'm just gonna call him Jafar, because I don't remember his stupid name.
Damage.
What?
Damage.
Damage?
It's damage, but in a French accent.
Jesus Christ, kill me now, please.
Yep.
There's, like, this weird, like, dynamic where the Emperor believes in the Martians, and he wants to destroy Earth, but his, like, vizier is like, oh, those Martians are up to something. And he's right, because they're just fucking around on Earth. And I mean, after a while, these battle reports would start to mean nothing, because they're just sending more and more battle reports. Are they like conquering every nation of the world individually or something? I don't know.
Here's the other thing. So why don't they just use that way? Why doesn't Martian headquarters just, like, use a telescope and look down at Earth and see that it is not a smoking ruin?
I wonder that myself. Because they're sending him these fake contact reports. Doesn't Martian Command literally at any point, like, want to go, let's check on Earth real quick. Wait a minute, this isn't blown up at all. They've been lying to us. The last thing they do in the episode is they fix the kid's wall, which literally took, like, 2 seconds, so why didn't they do it in the first place?
Yeah, and I don't know. He used a laser.
A wall laser. And then it was repaired. And then it was repaired literally as the parents were walking through the door. Like, right before then, I guess.
They, like, waited. They were like, oh, they're coming up the driveway. It's like a surprise party. Like a surprise birthday. They're coming.
They're coming.
Hurry,
We still
quick,
haven't fixed the
let's-
fucking wall yet. Or the
Let's do
cable.
renovations.
We haven't fixed the wall or the cable, for that matter.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it would have been really funny if they, like, waltzed in. It's like, hey, man, you use a satellite, don't you? And the kid just goes, nah, I use cable. And they're just like, fuck, we need to find a satellite somewhere else. The end joke of the show is, like, they rebuild the wall, and then the first thing the parents say are like, what happened to the window? Womp 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 womp, show end.
And there's literally like a shoulder shrug. It's all stupid.
Shoulder shrug.
He like looks into the camera and just like farts a little bit.
I just farted because that describes the entirety of the show. Just a giant fart in my mouth, in my eyes.
Right.
Let's get to what we've colloquially began to call the patch system, where we rate the shows on plot, animation, theme song, characters, humor, and entertainment. So let's start with this patch system, okay?
Good.
Plot.
Awful.
Awful.
0.
What?
0.
You give it a 0? I didn't even remember going that low. Yeah, I'll give it a 0 too. Fuck that shit. Okay, next up would be animation.
I will give it a 1.
I'll give it.
Because it tried, maybe.
It put forth that college effort, man. I'm giving it like a 0. I can't fucking stand this animation. It's terrible. It's so awkward and so bad. And just, I feel like a lot of the times they were like moving for the sake of moving. Like, if you ever watched video of like those CDI Legend of Zelda games, like Wand of Gamelon and stuff, they like just move too much sometimes for no reason, and it doesn't look good. This show in a nutshell, terrible. Theme song, Kade.
I'm gonna give it 3, and that's only because of nostalgia.
I'm going to.
And because they tried to be like, let's save Earth, I want to increase my girth. And that, I mean,
Sure, you can't ignore Martians' girth. I'm gonna give it a 1 because it's fucking terrible.
okay.
It was even worse than I remembered, but at least it's kind of catchy and would get stuck in your head. But that's not a good thing in this case, you know?
Yeah, theme song, and then
Characters is next.
as far as like likability or despisability, as far as the villains go, they are all one-note characters.
Yes.
As far as character design, though, I kind of like some of the designs they went with. If they were like higher poly count and if they had better textures, it might have been better.
This show might be passable if they gave it a shot today, is what you're saying.
Yes, and even if it was 2D, like I think that if it was 2D, they would have been able to give that more of a handcrafted feel.
This was probably the time when like Reboot caught on, or after Reboot caught on, they're like, let's make 3D shows, and then they all suck except for Reboot, so it's just like, well, I give up. Character-wise, I think the Martians are assholes because they just walk into the kid's house and start eating their food. Like, they don't even ask.
Yeah.
And then there's obviously the Emperor Martian and his fucking Vizier. It's like, they're supposed to be villains, so I'm not supposed to like them, so I guess they did a good job there. The only character I really like is like I said, Stolt Muldoon.
Yeah, I mean, at least whoever does it, his voice does a really good job playing the aloof doof who wants to take down those, you know.
He's just taking down the assholes who are imposing themselves on children and stuff.
Yeah.
He had a very recognizable voice, too. I don't know what he's done. So what do you give characters on this category, Kade?
I'm going to give it a 2.
I am going to give it a 1, again, because I like Stolt, because I think he's a good dude. Next is humor. Awkward silence. I was gonna say, this awkward silence speaks volumes to the quality of this show.
Yeah.
I'm giving it a fucking donut, so 0. What do you give it?
Goose egg.
Okay, and then entertainment value.
I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't watch it again. 0.
I would honestly give it a 0. I wouldn't watch this show ever again. This is just fucking terrible.
Yeah.
This is bad. Why did this show happen?
I honestly don't know.
This show exists as a testament to mankind's hubris. Okay, and we're at the bottom of the show. What's our show for next week gonna be? We are going to be watching Static Shock. Oh, yeah. So, and I guess that is our podcast for But Ugly Martians. As always, I'm Hades Manticore. You can tweet me at Hades_Manticore. And I have my Let's Play channel, youtube.com/videogamesho.
And I am Kade Wolfe, and I don't want any tweets related to But Ugly Martians ever again.
You're welcome to send us suggestions or just shoot the shit. We don't mind talking with fans if we have any at this point.
Alright.
So, thanks for watching, everybody, or listening, or whatever you're doing at this moment in time.
Yeah, thank you, really.
Thank you legitimately if you are watching. If you're watching and suffering alongside us, or having a good time if you listen to the Mummies Alive one, since we had a good time with that. As always, Excelsior. We'll see you in the next podcast.
Thank you for listening. This has been the Nostalgia Knuckleheads with Hades Manticore and Kade Wolfe. We hope you'll tune in next time when we review Static Shock. Bye for now.